Oh, hi. I'm the Madman from the Secret Identity podcast.
Hey, hello, I'm Billy Tucci.
I'm Chris Girusso. I'm just sitting down reading my favorite book, Lazerman, which is an incredible book.
Gotta say some nice things about our good friends over at HB Comics. They've got Lazerman. Lazerman, one of the most refreshing comics to come out in the past couple of decades, I think.
It is a lot of fun.
They're both a return to the idea of fun superhero adventure.
This is an amazing book. Anybody can get into it. Anybody can read it.
Lazerman is a lot of fun.
Anything that the Hebert brothers do, I will endorse. Not for any other reason than it's awesome.
Pick it up because it's really a great eye-opener, refreshing, and just a wonderful, wonderful comic from a great group of guys.
Anything these guys are trying to do, get behind it.
Hi, I'm Chris Hebert, the younger half of the Hebert brothers.
Hi, I'm Alan Hebert, the writer and creator of Lazerman, defender of,
Lazerman is all about a comic book geek who, in a bizarre twist of fate, actually ends up with real superpowers of his own. So basically what you're looking at is a lighthearted, fun throwback to classic-style superhero stories.
I wanted it to be a fun-loving classic with comedy and a little satire thrown in for good mix.
Lazerman's design is very classic. Lazerman's look is meant to evoke costumes that were created during the Silver and Bronze Age.
There was a innocence in comics at that time that we just don't see anymore, and I really wanted to bring that back.
Something that we feel has been lacking for a long time in modern comics.
I think that harks back to the time when heroes were honest and true and good, and it's just great to see something like that.
I was looking at a lot of the characters that were created in the late 80s, early 90s, and they were all very dark.
We're creating a hero who is absolutely as 100% geeky as we could make him. Lazerman is completely unashamed to be a superhero, and in fact revels in some of the more geeky aspects.
Something that G-Man has in common with Lazerman is that they're both fun superheroes that are not embarrassed to be superheroes.
I think it's funny because really Lazerman is probably the most corny name you can imagine. But when you're talking about a book that is about a 19-year-old college-age comic book geek, Lazerman is really the one and only name that he could come up with.
When we created Lazerman, we really designed it to be for the hardcore comic book geek.
We didn't outwardly design it to be a kid's comic book, but as we went on and we noticed that more and more kids were really into Lazerman, we became more and more aware.
Back when I bought comics, I could walk into a store and buy a 10-year-old a superhero comic book. Nowadays,
it's accessible to everybody, and that's extremely important. I feel like the comic book industry these days is taking the new generations for granted.
Lazerman's been sold primarily at conventions. Our first convention was Wizard World Philly 2008.
The Wizard Worlds in Chicago and Philadelphia. We've been to New York Comic Con. We've been to Baltimore. We've been to New Hampshire, and as many local shows as my wife will generally allow me to go to.
We've done more than we ever could have dreamed of doing.
We've had a great reaction from people at the conventions to Lazerman. However, there's only so far we can go printing digitally in small print runs as we have been. Last year, at one of the major conventions we did, we were approached by numerous libraries and schools. They took one look at the book and they said, wow, it's a kid-friendly superhero, this is great. How can we order the trade paperback? And we didn't have a trade paperback to offer them. It's time to really take the next step, and the next step is getting a full traditional print run of a trade paperback and collect issues 1 through 4, the This Man, This Lazer story arc.
We're doing this Kickstarter to get the graphic novel printed.
We started this Kickstarter to get those trade paperbacks done so that we could get into schools, so that we can get into libraries, so that we can get into comic book shops in a way that we haven't been able to before. Check out our awards. We were fortunate enough to get Billy Tucci, the Eisner Award nominated creator of the independent comic She, as well as the artist of Sergeant Rock and A Child is Born. He's done a fantastic variant cover for us.
And I'm excited about doing a variant cover for the book, and I hope you all will check it out.
We also have Chris Giarusso, the artist of Mini Marvels, and of course G-Man and G-Man Cape Crisis. He was also nice enough to do a variant cover for us. It's absolutely adorable. Also, check that out in our rewards.
So everyone, head to Kickstarter. We got some great incentives for you.
Lazerman's a fun comic. Definitely support the Kickstarter campaign and get in on the action like that.
So when you're looking to go online somewhere, stay out of trouble and go to Kickstarter. Help them out with this campaign because this is worth it. You're going to love it.
So please, take a look at the Kickstarter. Go through all the rewards, find one that's right for you, find two that are right for you. Make your donations so that we can take Lazerman to the next level for all of you. We got a ton more stories planned.
Thank you very much. There we go. They're a lot darkier.
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 Darkier.